If you don't have many friends, this video is for you. I don't remember the last time I met someone and in that exact moment felt that I liked that person and wanted to be their friend. As an introverted person with ADHD and somewhat different life situation, I used to be alone. Well, not completely alone. I've been with my girlfriend for almost 10 years now, and I think we are best friends. I haven't had friends the way we used to have them as kids. So in this video, I want to talk about whether it's really that hard to make new friends after 30 and what friendship actually means in human relationships. If this is your first time on my channel, you should know that I'm not a medical advisor or a specialist. This is a place where I share my thoughts in the hope that this information can help someone understand the deeper things I discuss. So now that I've given you this disclaimer, let's dive into the topic of friendship and whether we really need many friends. And let's start with the question, what is friendship really? In my opinion, friendship is just another word for love, and that's actually the main message of this video. If you know what love feels like, and you probably do, understanding friendship becomes much simpler. If you remember that feeling of love, real love, you can instantly understand how many real friends you have now or had in the past. Another interesting thing, according to Dunbar's number, the human brain can only handle around 150 meaningful connections. This means we have a limited number of slots for people in our lives, and as we age, these slots fill up. To make new friends, we need to clear space. I hadn't heard about this theory before, but scientists analyzed human and primate brains, their group structures, and came up with this number. And honestly, I kind of proved this to myself when I cleaned up my Instagram feed. Curiously enough, I had around 120 people I actually wanted to follow. Then I unfollowed all of them, but that's a topic for another video. And did you ever ask yourself, do we really need so many friends? And are they even our friends? Let's separate friendship into three groups. Those we love, those we would call for a drink, those we know since school, college, or work. Now, how many people do you have in each of these categories? And which ones are your best friends? Personally, I think it's the ones we love, but there's always a but. What situations push us to make new friends? Usually something really good or really bad has to happen to create a new, meaningful friendship. Our brains attach people to moments of high emotional impact. If you think about how you met your best friend, you can probably pinpoint the exact moment when they became part of your life. It's usually something either incredibly exciting or absolutely terrible. Something that brings out big emotions. But even after moments like that, do we actually end up with the real friends? The best ones? Not necessarily. Having someone to grab a beer with is one thing. Having someone who will drop everything to help you on their first call and you do the same for them is something else entirely. And even that doesn't necessarily mean it's a friendship in the same way it's love. Some people are just natural helpers. They feel valuable when they can assist someone. But does that make them a best friend? So who is that one person? Or maybe there isn't just one. In my opinion, a best friend is someone who has nothing in common with you, except for the situation that made you best friends. You don't have to talk to them every day, but when you do, the feeling is close to love. Does that make sense? Let me know what you think in the comments below. But how many friends should we have? This question might sound weird, but let's talk about it. I grew up in post-Soviet Ukraine, where we were raised with the belief that if you weren't social or didn't have friends, you are not good enough for society. In Soviet society, you had to be social, work in a collective, and not even think about being an introvert. Living a hermit's life wasn't an option, it was literally against the law. That's why we were taught to be as friendly as possible and surround ourselves with as many people as we could. Because in a so-called perfect communist society, you could only exist with a big family and a lot of friends. If you don't know, there was a time when communists built special housing where multiple families lived in one apartment, 3 or 4 families in one unit, sharing one kitchen, one toilet, and one bathroom. These were called communal apartments. But here's the thing, most of them weren't actually friends. And when they got the chance to move into their own place, I don't know a single story who hesitated. How long does it take to build a real friendship? From my perspective, real friendships are built over time and through experiences. Let's say you meet someone at a party where everyone is drunk. You hit it off, you have a great time, and you both think, wow, this person is so cool. Are you best friends now? Or are you just two strangers who happen to be drunk together? I don't know about you, but I wouldn't call that friendship. It's just a moment. Now, let's take a different situation. Imagine something terrible happens. War breaks out, or a natural disaster strikes. People start coming together, helping each other. In moments like that, new friendships can be created. Extreme situations forge deep connections because they come with intense emotions. And these emotions create bonds because we start to care about someone, or someone cares about us. And that feeling, that's what we call love. So let's speak about how many friends do we need. And here is the not so surprising answer. There is no rule. You could have no friends at all, which is rare unless you have a condition that makes socializing impossible. Or you could have many friends. The only reason you think you don't have enough friends is because of your own high expectations. You might have a friend to grab a drink with, another friend to play tennis with, another to go hiking with. These are all friends, but are they best friends? Maybe not, but do you actually need the best friends? Probably not, especially if you already have that kind of relationship with your boyfriend, girlfriend, wife or husband. And before I finish this video, let's discuss, can we lose friends? And I don't mean through death, I mean simply drifting apart. And the answer is yes, absolutely. As we grow, we change. Our behavior changes, our taste changes. Think about your childhood friends. You loved playing games together, but now maybe you have nothing in common. The same thing happens in adulthood. You meet new people, move to new places, and your old friendships naturally fade. Life isn't always consistent. You just have to accept that and move forward. Because we are not in the Soviet Union anymore. The truth is, friends don't define you. You define your friendships. The only person in control of your life is you. It's that simple. You are choosing who you want to see around you. You build your habits and you live your life. Yes, sometimes we have no power to express our personality, and we copy someone because we don't believe that our true self can be as cool as that guy you just met. But at the end of the day, you will decide to be closer to yourself. And unfortunately, for many of us, we will lose some people because they don't fit into our present life. And this is a normal process of self-development and the life you own. Thanks for watching this video until the end. I hope it gave you something to think about. If you have something to say, drop a comment below. Like and subscribe to keep me motivated to make more videos. I'm Dmitry and those were my thoughts. See you next time. Love yourself.